This episode is sponsored by Ticker, the investment app for first-time investors. Ticker only offer funds linked to positive environmental and social impact. To find out more, search Ticker Impact Investing in either the App Store or the Play Store today. But remember, as with all investing, what goes up can come down. In 2017, I sold my business. Flash cars, millionaire mansions, and super yachts. I didn't do any of that. Instead, I invested my kids' inheritance into random money-making schemes. Some traditional, and then we're going to get it up with estate agents and get them rented out as soon as possible. Others a bit more bleeding edge. Amazon best-selling author. When I started out, it was tricky to know who to trust.
It's $109.99.
And where to go for honest advice. So over the last 12 months, I've documented my own experiences so you can see what worked and what's not. In this episode, I'm reviewing my year using a robo-investment platform. They've been heralded as the future of investing by their fans. But can computer algorithms really replace human financial advisors? It's a relatively low-risk investment compared to some of my other schemes. But how did my £3,000 investment actually perform when Johnny Five was in charge? Are face-to-face investors' days numbered? Or did my robo-investor go rogue?
In the 21st century, a weapon will be invented like no other.
Are robo-advisors a good idea for investors?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Robo-advisors are a scam.
Bad human.
There's a lot of these robo-RIAs, and there's some very good ones out there, do exactly what an investor wants.
And we believe that technology in general is helping us to automate that work so that we don't have to do it anymore.
Give me your clothes, your boots, your investment money.
If you're watching this video, it's probably safe to say that you've got an interest in building wealth. I suppose you could be thinking, when's this Win It bloke going to get back to exposing entrepreneurs? For whatever reason, most of us think about how we can make more money. For me, growing up in a working class family in the Northwest, I understood the importance of saving. But stocks, shares and investing was something reserved for the very wealthy. In a way, robo-investors were designed to break down those barriers and make good investment advice more accessible to everyone, even if they only had a small amount to invest.
So we democratise the market and allow people with as little as £500 to get the same service, to get the same investment management that they would if they had £5 million.
If you've never heard of them, a robo-investor is a computer automated investment platform. So Jordan, the old school financial advisor, has now been replaced with online software designed to help you manage and optimize your investments. It's not quite Skynet, but the idea is you have minimal human intervention. There's a lot of different robo-investment platforms to choose from, but this isn't a review of the top 10 or anything like that. There's loads of content covering that already on YouTube. This is just my own experience using a platform called Nutmeg over the last 12 months.
Nutmeg is the smart way to invest. Set a goal and a risk level, and we'll build you a sophisticated, diversified portfolio so you can get your money working.
And before you get stuck into the comments, this episode is not sponsored by Nutmeg. There's no affiliate link. I am not getting paid by Nutmeg. And also, you should never base your investment strategy on what you hear some dickhead on YouTube saying in a video. You are 100% responsible for your own decisions and stupidity. At this point, I'd like to say I thoroughly researched different platforms before deciding to use Nutmeg, but it was literally a suggested app on my phone and I thought, yeah, looks decent, why not?
Give me your clothes, your boots, your investment money.
I've got other investments through a face-to-face advisor, but I've been interested in using a robo-investor for some time. I like the idea of having an app at my fingertips that I could invest small monthly amounts and manage that from my phone. I should say I'm very boring with money, so while some people dream of fast cars, I tend to dream of improved returns on my kids' ISAs.
Secure your allowance now with a Nutmeg Stocks and Shares ISA. Choose to invest it all or drip feed your cash into the markets.
As the advert claimed, it only took me a few minutes to get started.
You can set up a Nutmeg portfolio in under 10 minutes. First, pick your account type, ISA, pension or general investment account.
I chose a standard investment account. You then need to decide how long you plan to invest for. Basically, the length of time you can leave your money invested and untouched. You don't need to be Warren Buffett to understand the longer that is, the better. That's because of something called compound interest. The longer money compounds, the faster it grows. For example, if you saved £100 last year and it earned £2 in interest, this year you'll be earning interest on £102. That's your original savings plus the interest earned. It doesn't sound like much, but understanding that fact can turn a small investment today into a large amount of money over a lifetime. I chose a 30-year term, so that money will be ready for me when I retire at 65. Yes, this is what a 35-year-old looks like from Warrington. Hard living, tough life. There's an initial £500 minimum investment required. I also decided to set up a £200 per month standing order. I had the choice of a fully managed or a fixed allocation portfolio. I chose fully managed. As you'd imagine, there are different fees for each option. At 0.75% up to £100,000 and 0.35% thereafter, they're quite a lot less than you'd expect to pay with a traditional advisor. You then get asked several questions to establish your risk profile. It's important to answer these questions honestly. That way, you'll be assigned the right type of investment to match your circumstances. The bigger the risk, the bigger the rewards. But equally, your money is now invested in riskier companies and markets. But you need to be careful that you don't fall prey to something called gambler's fallacy, believing you are going to win big. He who dares can also end up losing a lot of money. Because my own personal circumstances, I scored a 9.5. High risk. A high risk investment strategy managed by robots. What could possibly go wrong? So what have my results actually been? In total, I've contributed £3,400 to the pot this year. That was my initial investment of £500 and a standing order of £200 per month. So far, my returns have been £135. That's known as a simple return of 3.98%. So let's look what my results would be taking compound interest into account over the next 30 years. As the years go by, I start to get paid interest on my interest, so the longer you leave the investment in, the bigger the returns. Take year 15 for example. That year, I get almost £2,000 worth of interest, giving me a total interest for 15 years of £13,700 at the current rate. And these are my results when we're in a difficult time period and a lot of investments are down. Traditionally, if you look back, you can see that people are getting between 8 and 9% returns when investing in stocks and shares. After 30 years, a £72,500 investment would have netted me £68,000 in interest, nearly 100% return on my money. I'm currently getting around 6.5% with my other stocks and shares investments that are managed by humans and not robots. So it's not done quite as well as they have done this year. So I will have to take that into account when I'm giving this a get rich or die buying score. Let's just hope this investment can get up to around the 6.5% I am getting with my other stocks and shares investment, because at the 30-year mark, that will mean for a £72,500 investment over 30 years, I will get paid a grand total of £226,000. This is why I like investing in stuff like stocks and shares. The elephant in the room with Nutmeg is that they have never ever made a profit. How can a company that's so shit with its own money manage yours very well? Now can you see why Nutmeg didn't want to sponsor this episode? On a more positive note, they do now have £1.5 billion worth of assets under management, and they've just got some investment from some of the big boys. This is another lesson on doing your research, no matter what the investment is. I didn't do nearly enough research, but luckily, Nutmeg, the suggested app, had a 4.6 star rating. Of course there are cheaper alternatives and you can do this yourself, but for a noob that wants a hands-off investment, it's not too expensive. I pay per trade with some investments, but with Nutmeg, the trade fees are included in your standard management fee. So the results might not be mind-blowing, but investing is what the richest people in the world do and have done for many years. I'm not saying you should use Nutmeg, far from it, but I do think as an introduction to investing, using a robo-investor is a great place to start. It might not be as eye-catching as some of the returns promised by these get-rich-quick gurus and their passive income streams, But investing a little amount each month without fail over a long time period will help you generate wealth. So you need to be fine with this and understand you are playing a long-term game if you're playing at all. I'm giving robo-investing a get rich or die buying score of 5.5 out of 10. Nutmeg, I wouldn't rate so highly, but I'm not stupid enough to give it a 1-star review like some of the ones I saw on the App Store. You can't blame Nutmeg for uncertainty in global markets and things like Brexit. That's not the app's fault. For me, personally, robo-investing is a great way at introducing the concept of investing for the long term. It's relatively cheap and it gets you in the habit of saving. This one seems like a no-brainer to me.
Come with me if you want to invest.
If you've had experience in robo-investing, let us know your personal experience in the comments below. If you like what we're doing with this Get Rich or Die Buying series and you want to see how we invested the rest of our £500,000, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for future episodes.